Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Decryption and I hope you are well. In the previous episode of the hide and seek series, we have made the NPC actually be able to see. He uses perception instead of line tracers now. So as we run around, he can't see us at all and he's no longer tracing for us. Instead, he's got his proper perception system up and running. And soon as he sees us, he runs up and he mocks us and that's it. So in today's episode, we're going to add the start and the end to the hide and seek system, or the mini game, where you can walk up, you can interact with him, dialogue pops up, he says, do you want to play? What role do you want to play? And we're going to execute it from there. So let's get started. So you are going to need some sort of dialogue system to follow this along, and hopefully I'll make it generic enough that you will be able to execute this whenever you want, even via key presses is what we'll discuss as well. For me, I'm going to be using Narrative Tales because it's software I use all the time. It's not sponsored. I do work for them, but it's not sponsored. And we've literally got thousands of users who's bought Narrative Tales over the years. It's a fantastic system. It costs a bunch, but it really does give you everything you could want in games. It's fantastic. So I'm going to be using that, but you should be able to follow along with any system in theory, or way you want to do it. You might just want an interaction to start it. So what I've done is I've gone and pre-written some dialogue for this system, where the guard basically says, do you want to play hide and seek, yes or no? Basic, right? But if you say yes, it gives you the option, do you want to hide or seek? If you say you want to hide first, the guard will say he's going to count to 5, and he starts another dialogue. We do this because this first dialogue is going to have a camera on it. So it zooms in, it looks all cinematic, right? But the second dialogue has no cameras on it. It gives the player full control to run back around. And it's literally just a guard counting from 5 to 1 and saying, okay, here I come. That's it. The only exception is, just to make it a bit more realistic and less audio file size, is I've made the audio files the literal size of the word, so 4. Saying 4 isn't a second long, so I've just hard-coded each one to be 1.2 seconds long. It could be 1 second, but I figured most people tend to not know exactly when seconds are, so it gives the player a little bit of leeway, and by the end, technically, they've had 6 seconds, plus the guard saying, okay, here I come before it runs. Just makes it a tiny bit easier for the player. But if the player says, I'll seek, NPC has to hide, then we do the same thing, but in here. The guard says, yeah, I love hiding. The player counts down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then says, alright, I'm coming to find you. I've got a voice acted everything. Alright, I'm coming to find you. There we go. And then we've even got some finishing nodes where the guard finds the player, the guard can't find the player, or the player finds the guard, and he just says, talk to me if you want to play again. And then we go back up to here. Pretty much dead easy. So if you are using Narrative Tales and you're going to follow along this way, set some basic dialogue up that hit all the endpoints. Specifically, choosing whether you want to hide or seek, the countdown, and the results. The 2 countdowns, so the player and the guard, and the results of it. That's all you really need. If you're doing this via something else, key presses, interactions, or whatever, just set your interactions up to have those points, whether you want to start hiding or counting. We'll talk about the countdown part when we get to it, but for me, I'm just going to be doing it dialogue time-based, so the dialogue runs for 5 seconds. You can do it via a sequence, a timer, a delay, anything you want. And then have some events that can call the final version. So there is one other caveat to this, which does suck, and I'm sorry about that, but it is an Unreal issue. If you're in Unreal 5.6 Plus, this will work great for you. What we're going to do is actually set this guard to have a standard idle state tree, right? He'll have the normal AI controller. But then when the dialogue starts, or the game starts, we're going to manually set him to be the hide and seek AI controller. And that will work for us. Unfortunately, if you're in Unreal 5.5 and below, you can only do this via C++ to set it. So what I recommend instead, when we get to the part where you need to set the state tree, is instead you spawn the correct AI controller and possess the guard with that instead. That should work for you. But if not, let me know and we can come up with another solution. So let's start the basic one then. I'm going to come and select my guard here, and I'm going to change his AI controller back to my standard AI controller. I've got this BP NPC, and all it does is has a function on it which lets me set a state tree. That's all it does. This is how you do it. So I'm loading my state tree in as a soft reference for low memory. So async load it in, I stop the current logic and say there's a new state tree been assigned, and then I wait a single frame. Mainly because there is some logic, there is a slight delay when you call stop that the stop actually happens. It's got to propagate through all the state tree tasks and say, hey, stop your actions. So I have seen it in the past without the delay, that sometimes the stop logic will run, the new state tree will run, but something is in the middle, like they're still moving. It's not great. So a small delay by 1 frame tells that guard to hold everything. Everything should catch up. We set the new state tree and we restart it. That's just one event I've got on this AI controller already. So I'm going to set the guard to use this one here. And by default, the state tree on this, I believe, is just idle. All he does is stay there forever. He does nothing. When I populate this properly, he'll do animations and all the other stuff. But for now, that's all he's going to do. So if we play the game now, the hide and seek system is broken, essentially. Look, yeah? But it now means we can walk up to him and we can talk to him and execute what we need. So I'm going to start my dialogue on him because I've already got a system set up for that. So I'll just assign him to hide and seek. If you're using narrative interaction, you will have the same thing. Otherwise, just make him start the dialogue. Otherwise, if you're doing keybinds, when you press something, either start your dialogue or give the player the options to hide or seek first. But for me, this has pretty much done the initial part. So we can run up and we can call talk, see? There we go. And now I've got the option yes or no. So if I click no, it'll go away. If I talk to him again, yes, I want to play. And then it says, do you want to hide or seek first? So that's the first option we've got. These options here would have set the Boolean on the hide and seek controller. So if you remember, we added this is hiding Boolean here. But since we're moving to a singular AI controller, we could actually turn the Boolean into a gameplay tag instead. So there are, of course, many ways you can handle moving this around. If you're keeping the hide and seek controller, you can stick it there. If you want to move it to your generic controller, you can move it to there. Personally, for my game, I'm going to use my ability system component to apply that gameplay tag to them as a state. Because I'm using the gas system, I need to tie it all together because that makes it better. But the end goal is you just need that Boolean somewhere so we can set it. So inside my gas folder, I'm going to go into my effects. I'm going to create a new gameplay effect called GE hide and seeking, set seeking, and I'm going to open it up and I'm going to make it set to instant, and I'm going to add a component of grant tags to actor. I'm simply going to add a state to the AI, and I'll create a new tag called minigames.hideandseek.seeking, and I'll copy that because that's a long one. It just makes it all categorized and nicely, and this one will be hiding, and I'll add tag there. So I've just got my 2 tags. This one is for seeking, so I'll just click seeking, and that should be everything you need to do. Apparently I have to set it to infinite. I don't remember that being a thing, but never mind. So I've set it to infinite, so it'll run forever essentially. And then we'll eventually remove that and the tag should be removed. And I'm going to duplicate this and set hiding, and we'll do the exact same thing, except instead of seeking, it will be hiding. There we go. You could optionally also do it where you just have is hiding. If you remove that tag, they're seeking, but I'll stick this way. So the first part is we need to actually assign that tag to them. So for me, I'm going to create something called a narrative event, which is a small code snippet. And I'm going to call this any apply tag to actor. I'll open it up. I'll override the execute event, and I'll run get all actors with tag. The tag I'll promote to a variable will be actor tag. I'll for each over all of them just in case I want to apply it to a bunch of bandits and say all of you are aggressive. From here, I'll get component by class, and I'm going to get my ability system component. I'll check if it's valid just to be safe in case I'm trying to apply it to something that is not. And when it is, I will do apply effect to self, and I'll promote the effect to a variable called gameplay effect class, and that's all I'll do. I have just noticed I've called this get tag as well. I'll change it to get to apply effect instead of tag, and that's all you really need to do for basics. And we can hit compile and save. And then back on my hide and seek, when I'm choosing to hide, I can now add the event of apply effect to actor. The actor tag is my guard. The tag I'm using, I've literally just given him an actor tag of guard. If you have an NPC manager, absolutely use that instead. And the effect I want to give him is to tell him he is seeking first, because the player is hiding. I'll then copy this and paste it onto the seeking one, and then I will simply say he is hiding now. I've just quickly added this get graph display text into my event just because it makes it look nicer here. So give guard that effect. Give guard set hiding, set seeking. It just looks a lot nicer. So now that we've told them which state they're going to be in based on the Boolean here, we now need to set the proper state tree to use. So I'm not going to set the state tree until the guard is actually ready to do it. So in my case, it's not going to be until he's finished counting here. I'm just going to go through again and set another narrative event up called give state tree or set state tree or something like that, right? If you aren't using Unreal 5.5, you're going to have to instead spawn the hide and seek controller, or you're going to have to set something on your massive master state tree to change to the correct one, something like that. So I'm just going to come and create a new narrative event, any set state tree. I'll get AI controller on it, check if it's valid in case we've found the player or something that's not official. If it's true, I will just call set state tree. You see, I should now be able to promote this to a variable. All the async loading is handled for us. I don't need to worry about it. So I've just gone through and set the state tree. I've set the get graph display text up. And when my guard's ready to run it, what I'm going to do down here is add the event of set state tree, and I can now specifically pass him, for the guard, the hide and seek state tree right at the end of it. So this is after the guard's counted, when he's ready to go and find the player. Equally, if the player's counting, then the guard should go and hide. So as soon as the player starts counting, I'm going to copy the event from the guard and I'm going to paste it into this here. So the guard will start hiding as soon as the player is counting, right? So in theory, we might actually be able to try this now and see how it works. But I've got a feeling it might error. So if we try it now, you'll see that I'm experiencing some lag apparently. But I can run up and then I can talk to him. And he'll say, do you want to hide or seek? Sure. I'll say I want to hide first. And then he'll start counting down. So I can run and hide. Okay. You can see, but he's not moving yet. And this is one issue that I've created myself. And unfortunately, if you've copied me directly from the upgrading Unreal versions, you will have to have done this as well. And the reason was that you couldn't used to before assign state trees to Unreal. You couldn't do it without C++. So we would have had to have one massive state tree, which is not what we wanted. So back when we first started doing state trees, we had a state tree and an AI controller per individual one, right? But the problem is with state trees is you have to assign the AI controller to it. So when you create the state tree, you assign the AI controller there, which is the wrong one. And of course, if we change that, every single task is going to break for this. So what I'm going to do, which is rather annoying, but we are learning, is I'm going to reset this back to my standard NPC AI, and then I'm going to compile, and you'll see everything's going to error, right? But I'm going to go through all of the tasks on here now, because they were all made for this anyway, and I'm going to set it to the correct AI controller. So for example, I'm going to open up my evaluator, my perception check for player. I can now change this to be my BP AI NPC. And hit compile and everything should sync up. We have got one minor error. What is it? Oh, it just doesn't want to stop movement there. Okay, thanks Unreal. There we go. Everything on that one is done. That's correct. If I hit compile, you'll see it's now moved to a different option, but this one is indeed correct. And that's all I'm going to do. So we've now run into one minor issue, and that's where we've got the search locations part. I did say in the previous example, eventually I'll be using a fragment-based system where I can pass payloads worth of data that doesn't really matter. I haven't got that bit set up yet, and if I did show that off, it'd be very difficult for everybody. So all I'm going to do for now is just come and put the searched one on here. So I'm going to copy the search locations and just paste it straight onto this AI controller. Yes, it means every single AI has that search locations, but for now, that's okay, because it is going to be fixed eventually. But it does mean we can come back and we can set the AI controller properly, like so, and we can get the properly searched locations. And that all compiles, and then the state tree should mostly compile. We've just got the two booleans to fix, which we'll do in a moment, because I know we need to also fix the EQS whilst we're here. So I'm going to come into my EQS folder. I'm going to get the search locations. Instead of casting to hide and seek, I'll just cast my BP AI, and I will get the search locations from there, like so, just to correct it up. And now we can come back to the state tree and we can fix these booleans. Remember, if you're using a boolean, just make it go and find the correct one. However, for me, I'm using a gameplay tag, so we can actually delete this off. So it kind of looks like at the moment that the built-in has tags don't actually use the gameplayability system, rather just in a generic tag container. We're actually going to create our own custom condition. So I'm just going to create a new folder called conditions, and I'm going to right click blueprint class, and I'm going to search for state tree condition, and I'll make sure I select the condition blueprint base. I'll call it STC for condition underscore does ASC ability system component have tag, and I'll open it up. I'll override the receive test condition, which is literally we just return true or false. So the variable will be our NPC, and from here I will get their ability system component, at least for me, and I will say has tag, has matching gameplay tag, plug it into there, and the tag to check I will promote to a variable as well called tags to check. I'll make the NPC a context, which I'll rename to actor, so it does the whole context thing we discussed last time. Basically, it just syncs it up. And the tags to check I will set to input. Hit compile and save. You can also override the get description if you want to, and we will simply format this and say, does actor, curly brace, have tag in curly brace. We can drag the actor in, drag the tag in. The actor we can do get display name, and we'll say, does this actor, and for the tag, do get tag name, and we'll plug that into the tag as well. That just makes it look neater when we assign it to the state tree. And with that new custom condition, we can add a condition to the is seeking, where we have does ASC have tag. The actor is automatically linked, which is good. The tag to check, we've got to pass in, so instead of input for that, what I'm actually going to do is remove it from the input and put it to default, and I'm just going to tick the eyeball instead, which now makes it so we can apply the tag directly, which for this one is seeking, like so. So does the actor have the tag that? I can do the same on the hiding now, where we can remove the old one, add the new one. It's all linked up, but we want to do hiding. You can see it compiles all correctly now. And now that we've fixed all of those state tree errors, you'll see if we play the game this time and we run up, I've still got lag from somewhere, I don't know where. It's not this game, it's my computer. But if we start it now and say, yes, I want to play hide and seek, he'll start counting, and I will run here, and we'll see he's now running to find us. How cool is that? So I'm going to stand here, so he shouldn't see me. But oh, he saw me. There we go. He's now counted down. We've now started the hide and seek process. We've done the starting to the hiding point where he runs around now and tries to chase us, which is good. It's looking good. However, when he discovers us, we need him to actually come and say something. I found you, I'm the best, at least for me. So where we've got it all the way down here in our state tree where it runs to the player, when they arrive there, we've got this mock the player. Perfect chance for us to play dialogue, or at least in my case, say whatever. So for me, I'm just going to create a basic state tree task called play dialogue. You can call yours play sound or anything you want, depending on what you're using. And all this is going to do is just on enter state, in my case, play my dialogue, which is get narrative component. I'm going to drag off and do begin dialogue. And then I'll just promote all of this to variables so it knows what to play. That's essentially going to be mine. I can take it one step further, and I'm going to assign on when my dialogue finishes, and then I'll call finish task, not before unbinding, which is just a cleaner way of doing it. And it just gives me some more flexibility too. For memory efficiency, however, this dialogue is currently in memory as soon as the state tree is. Not great. So instead, I'm going to convert this dialogue to a soft class reference instead. And then on enter state, I'm going to async load it instead and then resolve it. Just so when this state tree is in memory, it's not going to immediately have the dialogue in, taking up excess memory. Super basic task look. And then back on our state tree, where we're mocking the player here, I can now add the play dialogue task. And you can see we can't see any of our variables, so I'll just make sure I tick them as the eyeball, but not put them as input, because then it means I can set it here. So for hide and seek, I want to specifically play "Ha, I found you, I'm the best." Just like that. I am going to untick it so it doesn't finish it. And the one extra thing I'm going to do, instead of delaying it by 90 seconds, I'm just going to let the dialogue run. When the dialogue finishes, I am going to call tree succeeded, which should play the tree and stop it. We've got one error that the NPC isn't being passed in, so let's just change that to context, because I'm really liking the context, and we'll rename it to actor. There we go. Compile and save. And now the state tree does successfully compile up. And with tree succeeded, it should stop the tree because we're pretty much done. And because we are done, after we have said, "Ha, I found you, I'm the best," and the guard has said, "Great game," I'm actually going to reset his state tree back to the idle one. So there's no mix-up, there's no pending or waiting. He literally goes back to being idle. So if his idle is randomly walking around, that's what it'll do after hide and seek. We can also do the same thing for the "Alright, come on out" if he can't find us. So all areas have been searched, move to the finish area. We could technically do that, but I'm going to make him run to the center. So just like here instead, because before he was running out of there. So I'll just move him to roughly the center right there. You can put a target point there if you want to set something more specific using the target actor. But after he's moved to there, instead of waiting, I'm again just going to make him play some dialogue, which I'm going to copy from the other one. I'll overwrite this one here, play some dialogue, which will be hide and seek. The text will be, "Alright, come on out, I can't find you anywhere." And the transition after this, again, will be tree succeeded to stop the tree. There we go. So this basically finishes the task now. So if we try it this time, we should be able to walk up, fully start dialogue, him seek out to try and find us, get caught, and he should actually mock us now. So sure, I'll hide. So he's going to try and find us. So he's running. If I make sure I get seen, oh, he's not seen me yet because he's looking forwards and he's got a helmet on so he doesn't have any peripheral vision. But he saw me now, and then there we go. He mocked me. How cool is that? He is, of course, now wandering down there, so we do have a minor bug. What's his problem? Press F8 and we'll have a quick look at him then. So I'll click on him. I'll find his AI controller, because there should only be one in here. So I'll find his AI controller and select him just to see what was wrong with him. And we can see he's set to idle. He was just finishing a movement state by the sounds of it. And to stop him running off over here, it's just an oversight with some of the code where it's temporarily blocking him from running. So the way I fixed him running over here was just an oversight with the AI where we call stop when he's in the middle of moving. So super simple. All I did was I changed his state tree at the start of this node rather than at the end. So whilst this node is still processing, so it runs, it's still processing, it's already set his state tree, told him to stop all logic and continued. He's not doing anything else anymore, which is good. So now we can run up to him, we can start the hide and seek. And he'll count. If I run over here, he'll see me, he'll run straight up to me, he'll mock me, and then he'll just stay there. That's his idle pose. There we go. And then in theory, I should be able to walk up to him, talk to him again, say, "I do want to start." But this time he's counting from there. So I'll run over here. And it's now repeatable, look. You can see he's running somewhere else this time. He's running over there, look. He's not seen us, which is all good. Let's just make sure he double check catches us. He's caught us that time, and he mocks us again. There we go. Simple hide and seek system. How cool's that? It's been a great experience so far, but we can still improve it loads more. So this video is getting long, quite longer than I thought it generally would, to be honest. So we've added the ability to start the hide and seeking, and he mocks you. That part is all done. In the next episode, we're going to carry this on with making the hiding part work, but we're going to add some special stuff into it, because we don't want the player to say hiding and then he stood there watching the NPC run away. That's going to be terrible. So we're going to make the screen fade out, the player counts 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the NPCs vanish, which will be really cool. We'll also make the NPC run down here and face that way so we can't see where you're hiding, just to stop any accusations of him cheating. But that's very cool. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this was helpful. If you've got any improvements, please let me know below. We're coming to a quick, sharp end now. My name is Decryption, and I will see you next time.